was only for the night.
We're riding around the world to road test Ruffly gear in the K9 Moto Cockpit and to raise $100,000 for Girl Up. Every 6 months we tackle a new challenge. First was the Arctic Ocean, then the Darien Gap, and now we're aiming for the bottom of South America.
My heart is home with you.
Tuscarosa's getting her full makeover. She's got her dirty air filter out here, just shoving it off to the world that needs to be cleaned or replaced. And they probably took this off because they're cleaning out the fuel tank because we had a lot of dirty fuel in it. But yeah, rarely do I see her like this. Today's a big day, not just for Tuscarosa and her being pulled apart. I'm actually going in for myself. I'm getting my teeth fixed. My tooth here, I've been having some issues, so I'm actually going to get some work done on my teeth. So today is the last day I'll look like this. I will look different starting this afternoon.
So no matter how long you've been at it and how expert you think you might be, shit still happens. So we're back in Chile now after a week in Guatemala doing really good things for Ruffly. We are just out of the dentist for a teeth cleaning, and we are sitting at a cafe and a backpack's been stolen. We saw the guy who did it. We commented more than once on what a fucking weirdo he was and what the hell he was doing, and he was kind of whatever. And just in complacency of complacency, it just didn't occur to us that he was reaching behind this plant that he was basically molesting to sneak one of our backpacks that was tucked in the corner here.
Coming back from the dentist, I was woozy. I got anesthesia on my face. And yeah, I was just sitting here and I actually watched the guy as he was doing it. And I didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He was like playing with the plant and he was shaking things and moving things. I thought he was just like getting comfortable down there because he already had his own backpack. And actually watched him leave. I couldn't place him. But yeah, other people, we looked for cameras. Greg went in and asked him if there was camera facing there, and it wasn't. So that's something. And now we need to go to Western Union to actually get cash, and hopefully they'll accept my driver's license because I don't have my passport. I happen to actually have my wallet still on me. So I locked my laptop online at the iCloud.com. I was able to lock it, so we can't get in. But it's gone.
It's got a laptop and a passport in it. So the end of the world it's not. Certainly a fucking hassle and expense it is.
And my Ruffly sweater, which I love.
Yeah. So it sucks enormously. We got to go now to the police because this is such a sort of good neighborhood in Santiago that there's really no police around. We've been kind of hoping we'd see some. No police. So we're going to have to, we've been informed by calling the police that we need to go into the Carabinieri, comisaria, their police station, and we do the police report, and then of course we'll need to take that over to the Canadian embassy for a passport issue, and then I suppose we're going to have to go to an iStore because there's no way that you survive for more than a couple of days as GoRUFFLY on a trip like this without a laptop, and there's no way we're seeing that laptop again. So it sucks. This is the shit that happens, and you feel stupid, you feel ridiculous, you feel pissed off for sure, but you also you're also not new at this to know that like there's a way you can be ever and always vigilant to where no scam, no kind of sleight of hand is ever going to get you. And that's just false thinking. It fucking happens, and you hopefully mitigate, and you hopefully avoid it as much as possible, but you live long enough, and you're going to fucking stub your toe, or worse. So, now we have to deal with it. So Jess has turned on the Find My Device location on her MacBook, and it was located about 8-9 miles away,
like 30 minutes away now,
a little bit south of downtown which we're on the complete other side. But we've decided that we're going to go there.
Yeah, and go see who this motherfucker is who stole our
where
bag.
this location may be. I mean, what are the chances that
There's a furniture store. That's where I've directed him to. So there's a furniture store right near where the pin was. So we'll see if maybe he knows the person there or whatever's going on, and we can see if somebody came in and like opened a laptop.
Yeah. From there, presuming that nothing good comes of that, we'll go to the Carabineros and report this. Jess was just on the phone with the Canadian Embassy, which she was not on the phone with because they're closed. So we'll make a police report. We'll check out this location, I guess mostly for our own curiosity and a roll of the dice.
And so one other thing that was in my bag were my riding pants.
That sucks.
No riding pants.
So yeah, handful of stuff that's lost out of this, which blows, but fortunately life and limb is still intact. Whimsy is still out on the lam because we're supposed to pick her up tomorrow at the same time, essentially, as we're going to be then picking up the bikes. And then our Airbnb that we're staying at for the next couple of weeks, which is about an hour outside of town, quite on purpose, is an hour outside of town. So then we go out there, and then we're obviously going to have to be coming back to deal with this stuff, which means a replacement computer and the consulate on Monday.
So we're on our way down to see where the last time he opened my laptop was. We still have about like 52 minutes ago. And yeah, it's just further down. You gotta make it.
Now, right when you're in a situation like this, there's absolutely no need to take a moment for perspective. And yet that's what I'm gonna do, because really in the almost 3 years of GoRUFFLY around the world, this is really not one of the major crises. This is a big motherfuck, but it's not a major crisis. Nobody's died. Nobody's been hit by a chicken bus. We're sort of all still together. The motorcycles are still all in one piece. So we pretty much have everything we absolutely need except for a computer, which is replaceable. And expensive for sure. And a passport, which we're not getting into another country without, but is replaceable as well.
It sucks because I liked that one. I memorized the number and everything. It was perfect.
Yeah, there's a lot about this that sucks, not least of which is the fact that you liked your passport number.
We're almost there, 2 minutes away. It's by a park. Makes me wonder if the guy stopped at the park and like opened it up. So we'll have to see. There are apartment buildings here though, so maybe he went up in one of them.
He stopped at the park. I hope he accidentally stepped in some dog shit.
Me too. We came to the place where it was showing that this is where my laptop was, and can't find anybody or any part of it.
So we've reviewed the scene of the opening of the laptop and found nothing.
Nothing.
Big surprise. We did happen to flag down a carabinero car.
A policeman.
And basically, you know, we have to go to the commissary. That's not the
police station.
The station. And so, you know, there wasn't much to help us. They had to pull in here to the hospital, so they kind of flagged us to come over.
Greg, this is the bus station, and there's an apartment building.
Oh shit, that's right. So the ambulance has come. My mistake.
There was somebody having a mental health crisis.
That type of neighborhood where you might expect it. You walk through the park here, and it's filled with marijuana smoke and so forth. I mean, not that that's, but it's got that vibe. So this is clearly
not less on this.
This is clearly not the nice part of town, and yes, I am blatantly just filming here, but that's what you do. As long as someone doesn't grab my phone out of my hand. And so we're at this scene. It is across the street from the park, which is basically right where the pin is dropped for where the laptop was opened, is a giant apartment building. And there's any number of severely frumpy guys sort of out front and up on the little terraces of these tiny apartment buildings. And yet it doesn't mean anything, and we have no access to it. So it's pretty much a dead end here with nothing good to come of this. So the next move is several. First is to go to the police station, and we're gonna do a police report, and then we basically need to go and buy a new laptop, because there's no way that we're gonna see that thing again.
They actually have a camera here. The guy walked in, I recognize him with the backpack.
I can absolutely recognize him. So that's something we're gonna try and do before we leave here. And maybe he happened to walk in with 2 backpacks. What are the chances? In any event, let's go check in on that. It is frankly far from impossible that this guy actually does live here, and this wasn't just like a waypoint, because it's unlikely
for it to be a waypoint.
Yeah, it's unlikely that he's like a super thief, you know, Ocean's 11 style. And so it's very possible, but the actual fucking good luck and, you know, timing of him coming in or out at a certain moment, and let alone that we could identify him clearly enough and that he would actually even have the backpack, is all very minute and minuscule, which blows. But I'm just kind of scanning around, hopeful upon hope, but I don't see anything. And the doorman guy was saying, you know, of course, gave his like, be careful around here. If you do identify the guy, you'll definitely want to get the carabineros or carabineros, because there's a lot of bandas or gangs around here in this area, and so it can be pretty damn sketch. And that sort of jibes with what we're seeing. On the move again, and now we're headed to the police station, because no dice here, which is to say no robbers. This guy over here is wearing 2 backpacks, it would seem, but he is in no way fitting the shape or appearance of our particular scumbag. So we struck out, which was pretty obvious to anticipate, but well worth the coming down here and just kind of getting a feel for where this guy next went, apparently. Since we were both coming out of the dentist, me with the cleaning, Jess with a little bit of servicing done, and so we sat at a Swiss bakery, and that's where we were basically justifying our presence by buying a fig and nut bread that we would eat later, because nobody really wants to eat right after the dentist. Turns out to come in super handy, as there is a ginormous line here at the police station. We're gonna be here for a while, and I am on the verge of going hangry. Still waiting at the police station, and we just checked in on Jess's laptop and got a new ping. And so I'm gonna go check it out. Jess is waiting in line. They've gone through something like 4 or 5 positions at this point. There's another 4 left until Jess is up. So more than likely, I will be back from this fool's errand before she even gets called up. But I gotta go. I gotta go check this out and just see. It looks like from Google Maps that it's a big, huge apartment building. So it's probably another sort of silly attempt, but gotta try it. So I've been chasing after this guy for a little while now, and we're moving through the city pretty well, but now we're starting to see him move. So he's moved several times as I was on the way to his first location. And now he's actually gone quite a huge distance to the north. He's like cleared the city, and the last ping was at 2 major highway intersections at the far north outskirts of the city. So what's clear, if nothing else, is that he's on a motorbike, because there's no way he gets through Friday traffic at that speed, and he's moving way faster than I am, even sort of anticipating his moves. We've kind of made several tacks to, like, based on where I'm last seeing him, but we can't move nearly that fast, and I've far exhausted the patience of this driver, who has far exhausted my patience as well, but it's clearly not happening. So the plan at this point is going to need to be to essentially hit pause on this if I can resume it tomorrow once I've got my bike, and maybe we have a last point that I can visit, at least for just the smallest possible shred of closure. Or, you know, it's like, it's bad if the thing gets taken. It's somehow almost worse when you can see a location on a map and you can get there, and you're just not gonna go. That's hard for me to swallow. Back at the police station with Jess, feeling very thwarted because this thing keeps pinging around. It's still in movement, not jumping as quickly, but seems to now be in a neighborhood very far to the north, that in a car would take us probably 45 minutes or more, given like Friday evening traffic. If we were on the motorbikes, especially if the side cases were off, it would be a very different story. But we're kind of thwarted in that. We're thwarted here because we've got to go through this process. I mean, it's not really going to do us any good other than we need to get this police report in order for Jess to get the replacement passport in any kind of reasonable amount of time.
No, we're here. And he's way up there.
Hours later now, and we have completed the police report. We asked the officer at the end basically what the chances out of 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 are
Getting my laptop back.
and he said none. We said,
Clearly.
Jess showed him kind of the map with the Find My Device. We said, we know he's here right now. It hasn't moved in like 45 minutes. He said, if you want to go find it, you have to go to the police station in that neighborhood because it's outside of this neighborhood, or comuna as they call it, commune, not really.
For your mom.
And then you'd have to get them, referencing this police report, you'd have to get some officers from that police station to accompany you to the location. Now, if you found him outside in the park playing on the computer, they could investigate and grab him and whatever. But if he's inside of a place, they can't go in because there's no search warrant. So the walls have closed in on us to the point where we basically now at least have the document we need for Jess to get a new passport.
So on Tuesday, I made an appointment for 9 o'clock. So I just need to get photos done and the application printed and payment. And they charge you an additional $45 because you lost your passport. I don't know. Like, it's still just the normal renewal. You got to pay for that. And then they're saying, okay, now also pay $45.
It's like really kick a guy when he's down, right? So that sucks. And of all things, you get to your Airbnb and you kind of just think that you want to basically lay down in the fetal position, right? And maybe suck your thumb. And yet somehow you find yourself coming back out because what you need to do even more than be in the fetal position is have a drink or several.
Hi guys, thanks for watching GoRUFFLY in real time. If you love Whimsy's gear, head on over to GoRuffly.com and check out our collars, leashes, beds, bandanas, and more for your dog and all the dogs that you know. And if you're interested in the K9 Moto Cockpit, which is how Whimsy rides with me on the back of my motorcycle, you'll get all that information about sizing, mounting, and everything else at GoRuffly.com. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe.